Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm here again with Leanne Ebert from Walls Revived. She is a painter and really a design specialist, color specialist, in fact. And today we're going to be talking all about color, how to select color for your paint job that you need in your house.
Right.
So let's jump in. So let's talk about paint colors, because that's usually something that's challenging for homeowners to do.
Oh,
is
100%.
choosing the right paint color in the room, because, you know, things really change what the color looks like depending on the lighting or lack of lighting, whether there's natural light or, you know, different type of light fixturing.
For sure.
So what is your process for helping people to select colors? Where do you start?
Okay. So in general, we look for the neutral of the home. So if someone wants a color home, like blues or whatever, that's fine. That's totally different topic. And they can just pick a color, sort of. But like in general, though, you want a neutral that encompasses like the main areas of the home. And it's very overwhelming. There's thousands of colors to choose from.
Right.
So in general, like then there's undertones in neutrals. And
What do you mean by that?
well, you know, was it 50 Shades of Gray? Let's go with grays.
Okay.
So there's like blue gray, green gray, beiges, pink beiges, orange beiges, right? So there's all those undertones. So if you have a bunch of colors lined up, they might all look the same, but then if you put them beside each other, you're like, oh yeah, that's orange or that's green. Like you can tell. When selecting a paint color for someone's home, you really have to like work with the current fixtures that they have in the house. So like countertops, tiles, carpets, all those like things that aren't the permanent stuff that's not being changed out.
Right.
So let's just say you have like a blue gray carpet. You can't really pick a pink beige wall color.
Right.
You can, it's just not going to look good.
Yeah.
And so we want to avoid that.
It'll look off and you don't know why.
That's exactly right. You know, or like some people like a blue gray walls, but then they have kind of yellow trims. It doesn't look good. So in that case, you kind of got to change your trims if you love blue gray walls, right? And that's a whole nother huge undertaking, is changing your trim color. So
Yeah, that's huge. So I guess for people in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, all the areas where you work, actually you just bought a home in St. Albert, right?
that's right.
So your home in St. Albert, when you have clients in these areas and you're wanting to help them choose the color for their room, what do you do? Like most people have these things to start with. Right?
I brought some samples.
So they've got these little sample things they find at, Benjamin Moore or at the Home Depot or wherever.
Exactly.
And they hold this up and they say, I think I like that color.
Yeah.
Like do's and don'ts.
Well,
Because you are a
yeah.
professional, color specialist when it comes to paint.
That's
color
right.
and design. What's the pros and cons of using these things?
Well, so a lot of people have this misconception that if it's on the same strip, it all coordinates, or it's just like a different varying degrees of each other. But for example, I picked this one on purpose because at the top here you have like a green gray and then a lighter green gray. Then you have like a purple violet gray. And then down here is more of a blue cool one. In general, when I go to visit someone's home, I ask them, I'm like, have you been looking at colors already? And most have actually. And then I just get a good idea of what they're thinking of, mostly for lightness. And then they're like, most of them are like, oh, please help me. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I just want it lighter or brighter or whatnot and stuff. And then so when I go visit them, I bring with me, I have these large color panels that I've made. And there's about 50 of them of Benjamin Moore's most popular neutral colors. And it's so much better, than this tiny little strip.
And they're not having to paint a patch of their wall, buy these little tins of paint. And
that's right. I mean, they still can do that. And I'll direct them how to do that, because a lot of times they'll just slap it on the wall and then you have like paint ridges and stuff that I have to deal with later. So at least with these, you know, you can like move these around the rooms, and you really need to, because as you mentioned, the paint color will change in every single room on every different wall under different lighting. I've heard designers say, oh, you know, the lighting doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It totally does. I made like a little post recently of like 3 different bulb colors and how the paint behind it changes based on, you know, the lighting, right? So that it 100% does. But it does matter what undertone is behind the main color.
Right. So whether it's a blue, a green,
Exactly.
a pink, a peach, or whatever.
Yes. And then there's different, varying saturations of the colors too. So when people are like, I want white walls, and I'm like, do you really want like a piece of white paper on your wall? Most times people want like an off-white, which I have in many samples, and we can always find something that works out that, you know, warms it up. Or maybe they want a sterile home, but from the feedback I'm getting, people are getting tired of the white walls.
Yeah, tired of white walls. And there was a trend a few years ago where people were going all like gray.
Yes.
And to me, it's gray is a neutral color, and you can put anything with it. But for me, personally, my personal preference is it felt really cold.
Yes.
And
because it was probably a blue gray or a violet gray.
Yeah, cold and sad. It's like, it's cold and sad. I don't
That's
like
right.
cold and sad. I like warm.
So we warmed it up and we called them grages for a while.
Okay.
So it was like more, you know, gray beige.
Okay.
So that was the trend a while ago too. I mean, that's still a very popular neutral. You were mentioning the white wall there was the gray trend, and then came in the white wall trend, and it's still here. You still see it in the show homes. It just doesn't, I was going to make a point that just because you see a paint color in someone else's home or a show home doesn't mean that paint color is going to work in your own home. I've seen it many, many times.
Yeah.
I even had this home builder. He wanted to update his house to sell it. And so he hired a painting crew to paint the walls white, like a Chantilly lace or, you know, white dove. I'm throwing out all these names that are very popular. And he called me. He's like, this looks terrible in here. I need your help to fix it. And what it was, the walls were white, but his trim was like a yellow beige.
Oh.
And it just made the trims look so dirty. And that's the problem with that, right? Like, so I picked out a few colors that just complemented the trims, because we weren't going to change all the trims in this, you know, multi-million-dollar home.
No, that would be tens of thousands of dollars
of course.
to do that.
Yeah. So incredibly expensive.
So really what you're saying is you have been trained, and you have a good eye for what colors work together with the person's furnishings, with their trims, with their countertops and cabinets and their all the things, right? And I guess, who's the right person who should be reaching out to you for this service that you provide?
The right person. Well, usually when people buy a new home, new to them, and they want to put their own personal stamp on it, or, you know, just when they go into this home that's new to them, but something feels off, and they're just like, you know, this doesn't look right, because, you know, people over the years, they just buy a can of paint and they paint it themselves because they like the color, but it might not work well with the finishes that I mentioned. So that, or someone that, you know, just wants to refresh their space. They still have their gray walls from the gray trend. So they want to liven it up a little bit. Just so everyone's aware, we're moving into, we're warming it up again. We're going back into the beiges, the off whites, the warmer whites. So that is the new trend that's coming up. Thank God.
Yeah, right. Then it's easier to, you know, get furniture that matches, or that kind of complements that, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess for me, when it comes to wall color and paint colors and whatnot, you want it to be nice and to kind of be the backdrop or the background, not really the the feature, unless you're making a feature wall.
Correct. Yes.
But it shouldn't be the standout piece. It should be the supporting cast.
You're right.
In my opinion.
Nope, that's
I'm not an
100%
expert, but those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, when it's done well, it just blends into the background, and it just, you have this feeling of like serenity.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, this is, this was well thought out and well curated and just, well put together. So
Yeah. It should feel comfortable. It should feel good. You should feel good in your home that it's, because let's put it this way. When you go to a nice hotel or resort or, a place that is, there's some design that's gone into it.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell, you can sense it. You may not be able to pick it out, but you look at the different hues of the whites, the tile, the furnishings,
for sure.
all of that, and just kind of flows and goes together. It's because there was a cohesive thought and plan that went into place. They just didn't go to the, thrift store and just buy a bunch of stuff that they thought might, go together. I mean,
exactly.
It all kind of works together. So do you also help people choose furnishings, art, other design elements to help pull a room together?
I give suggestions at this stage. I would like to move into that. Often where people don't let's just get into the color,
Sure.
conversation, right? So people want a color to liven up, or they want a feature wall or a feature room, and they don't really know where to start. So I'm like, do you have a favorite painting? Do you have a favorite piece of fabric? Or, and then we can pull colors from there. And then we do eliminate. I'm like, do you like purples? Do you like greens? And they're like, yes, no, yes, no. So we kind of just, process of elimination.
Yeah.
Or if they don't know, I'm like, okay, well, go onto websites, Pinterest, for example, what appeals to you, and let's, analyze it and figure out what, what appeals to you. Or just go to your local name drop in HomeSense, right? And pick out some piece of art. If you're on a budget. Or my favorite thing is to go visit art walks in the summertime and, support some local artists, and just, you'll know when you fall in love with a piece, like a painting, you'll make it work in your home or I'll make it work for you.
All right, Leanne. So thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge and information on how to select paint colors for your home, for your room, and how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach out, go through my website, www.wallsrevive.com. You can text me or call me at 780-232-5540. Looking forward to hearing from you.
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much. Hey, you guys, we will catch you on the next video, but don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with a friend. And when we have some new stuff, or if you have any suggestions for content from Leanne, we'd be happy to get that into the program. So thanks so much. We'll see you next time.